What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode, the second episode of the Six Figure Flipper Show. Guys, today I got a special guest with me. He's a really good friend of mine, and he's well on his way to being a six-figure flipper. Definitely on his way there. Guys, I want to introduce you guys to Tyler Bass. Tyler is he's been around the phone flipping space for a little while. Tyler, how many years have you been flipping, bro?
Three.
Like 3 years. Okay. I thought it was a little bit more than that. But before we
may be a little bit more, but yeah, about three, maybe a little bit more.
Gotcha. So guys, before we get started, I do want to share a little bit about why I created this show and what this show is meant to do and how it's, what the purpose is, right? So I created the Six Figure Flipper Show to show you guys, that it is possible for, you to make a full-time income flipping phones and electronics. It's 100% possible. You're going to hear from Tyler here shortly on how that's possible, how it can be done. And, if you're looking to start a full-time business yourself, this is one of the easiest ones to actually do it with. However, that doesn't mean you don't have to put any work in. All right, that's not what that means. But it is the simplest in terms of you buy something and then you sell it, right? Like that's kind of how the whole system works and how this business works, right? So let's get the Six Figure Flipper Show on the road, and I'm gonna start asking you some questions. Tyler, you okay with that?
Sounds good.
Awesome. All right, so Tyler, you started flipping phones and electronics 3 years ago, and that was after you purchased David's course, right?
That's right. Yep.
So if you guys don't know, David Kosciusko mentored me personally. He also mentored Tyler in the last program. So heavily influenced by David. If you don't know who David Kosciusko is, go YouTube him. You'll figure out really quickly who he is. So once you found this side hustle, this business, what did you think about it, Tyler?
Well, at first it was kind of a foreign, idea, but like you said, at its core, what you're doing is you're buying low or lower and you're selling higher. So yeah, when I first started, it was, again, really foreign, but like you said, the basics of it was kind of, simple, but, there's a little bit of, finesse that you have to put in. Of course, the hard work, definitely a part of that. But yeah, I found it pretty interesting, and I like smartphones and, electronics just like anybody else. So.
Absolutely. So in the beginning, when you started this business, was it easy?
No.
Was there
it's been an uphill battle pretty much the whole time, but yeah, not too easy.
Was there some things that you tried that didn't work out?
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, a lot of times when I tried to put my own, you were talking about Dave, and so when I first went through his course, I tried to put a lot of my my preconceived or my my knowledge that I already had from other stuff that I've done before, and where I didn't follow the yellow brick road that was already written by Dave and had been tested and proven to work. And so I found a little bit of bumps along the way because I didn't follow that directly, but it was when I started kind of following along with what he had and the course, I started seeing some success. So
for those of you that don't know, what he was referring to as like the yellow brick road, simply put, what this is a lot of what resellers start off doing is reaching out to people, asking to buy their stuff, trying to negotiate people down whenever those people already have a preconceived price in their head, right? So what he's talking about is we post ads, or we run ads to get people to message us, who are actively looking to sell their device, and they'll message us. We'll negotiate a little bit back and forth, and then we'll meet up. At literally 15 minutes before this webinar, guys, I bought this phone. Literally, I accidentally called Tyler on the phone while I was buying this phone. I bought this
You
phone.
did.
It's a cracked iPhone 11. I bought it for $100. It ended up being unlocked, so I'm going to be selling it later tonight. I already got a buyer for it, and that's another thing in this business. Tyler, we always have buyers, don't we? Like, it's either eBay, Swappa, direct buyer. It doesn't matter, right? We, we know what something's going to sell for before we ever buy it, right?
Right.
So, along your journey, Tyler, so you went from zero to, I don't know where you really started, but I know whenever you started working with me, you were around the $2,000 a month range in profit.
Yeah.
Can you explain a little bit on how you got there, specifically the $2,000 a month profit range? Yeah, let's start there actually.
Yeah. So, my area took me a little bit of time to crack. I'm not, from a big city, and so I don't have, a million people within a 10-mile radius. And so, it took me a while to understand how to effectively advertise, how to effectively negotiate. That took a little bit of time. Now, it took nowhere near as much time as it would have had I didn't have the course and some of the negotiation training that was provided. But basically, a lot of how I got to the 2000 was pretty much just, I would say, a lower level mindset. I know that sounds weird, but I wasn't thinking bigger. Like, I could have gone bigger, but I wasn't thinking. I needed a perspective shift. But just to get there, it was pretty easy. You once you do it and you start getting going, it can be like a bit of a build, and then it's pretty easy to make. Two grand a month is really not that hard at all. It really isn't, or at least in my opinion, of course. But yeah, pretty much followed along, and I wasn't working a lot to get that, but very part-time hours, but yeah.
It's good. One thing you were talking about there, and I know you said you came from you're in a smaller town. You're in Freeport, Texas. I used to live down there in that area, right? I know what that area looks like. It's not big. Like, a lot of small towns with just a couple thousand people in them, and it's not, it's nowhere near what the typical phone flipper lives. I think you're actually the only one in that area. Now, for
the only good one.
for those of you that don't know, I live about 50 miles from Tyler. So we actually trade deals pretty often, actually. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it's a small area, right? And you're doing 2,000 a month in profit. So, and you said you were at a lower level mindset. Now, a lot of you guys that are probably watching the replay and stuff, you're like, oh, mindset, blah, 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 blah. Guys, mindset's a real thing. Like,
it's a real thing, man.
$5,000 a month, you're not going to make $5,000 a month. If you don't believe you're not going to make $2,000 a month, you're not going to make $2,000 a month. If you don't believe you're going to make $500 a month, you're not going to make it. Like, it's just not. If you can't believe that you can do it, you won't. Like, this is one of the things you see those awards back here? These are mindset awards, guys. And they're very expensive awards for training myself on mindset specifically. They've helped me do over, $500,000 in a different business. It's all mindset. Everything comes down to the mindset when it comes to business for the most part. Now there is some skill, right, that you have to develop. That comes into play there too, right? So Tyler, I want you to talk about how you went from, that 2,000 a month. I know you hit a plateau there too, where you were just kind of coasting along for quite a few months. What was the perspective shift between making that amount of profit a month and where you're at now? I think your best month so far was
6,300. Yeah. 6,300. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're averaging around 5,000 a month now in profit.
Mm-hmm.
What was the biggest shift there, dude?
The biggest shift was the understanding and the epiphany, I guess you could say, at the time, of how valuable repeat customers are. If you meet somebody and you buy, I don't know, a phone, and that's that, and they go about their way, you go about your way. Okay, so you've made whatever, maybe $100, $200, maybe more. But if you take the time to make that customer, the person, whoever you're buying from, if you kind of keep them and constantly remind them, hey, I buy phones, I buy electronics, I buy consoles and laptops and MacBooks, all that stuff. And they sold you that one phone, and then, hey, a month later, they sell you some other stuff. And then a couple of weeks later, hey, my cousin has got some stuff. Can they come by and bring it to you? Well, that's a whole different person entirely. That one customer went from $100 to thousands. That month of January, it was just a couple months ago, the 6,300 month, I had a repeat customer that I had met her in December. Once I started working with you and you had pretty much helped me scale up my follow-up business and my repeat customer business, she, sold me. It was like just her alone was, I met her up one Saturday. It was 1,000 profit. And I think I gave you a video where I show that.
Yeah.
And that's one meetup. That was maybe an hour's work, maybe. And we're talking about just texting her a lot of the time. And then, like you were saying about, we already have buyers lined up. We know what it's going to sell for. So that they sold within a day or two. That's $1,000 profit. And the whole thing was automated. And so that was one of the key things that that kind of propelled me into a next level, another league. The second thing, that was the first thing. The second thing was that month, and I'm sure you remember, you had challenged me you had held me accountable, and you said, hey, what's your goal? And I said, my goal, I want to hit 5K. And you were kind of on me, and you had said, hey, you need to do it. You need to do whatever you can to make that goal. And let me tell you something. I had one of the worst return experiences in January, and there was tons of things wrong, but I made more than 1,000. I made 6,300 because of my mindset, because of some of these just different slight shifts. That's all it was, just a slight change in my mind, in my perspective, and I hit those numbers. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
So there's a couple things there. You changed your mindset, right? And then you were also held accountable on that goal,
yep.
Right? You guys, this is one thing that I do, right? Like with all of my students, is I hold them accountable on what they say, right? So, to be clear, Tyler just hired, he just joined the Rescale program, which is my highest tiered program. It's meant to take people to $8,000 to $10,000 a month in profit. So that's our goal, like after this meeting, orientation starts for him over there. This video is weird. So like mindset is a big deal, guys. Like I see Richard saying he lives in a population that's pretty small. Okay, well, target 25 miles around you, target 50 miles around you, right?
How much is this population?
It says 1,594. So small town,
Okay.
right? But there's more people surrounding that too, right? You might be the only person in 150 a mile that buys phones, dude. Like, that's something that needs to be addressed. I've seen people in very small towns crush it. And you only need, Tyler, how
I'm
many
in a small
devices
town,
do
man.
you really need? Like, what is it? 15? I think it's 15 to like 25 maybe devices to do 10,000 a month and 3 to 4K in profit. It doesn't take a lot of devices to do good profit, right? I think you actually have a sheet, don't you, on how many devices you bought? You want to share that?
I'm looking it up right now.
Share that with the
Let's
class.
see how many devices I bought to hit that number.
How many devices did he buy to make $6,300 in profit?
I wonder if you guys can guess. I bet you it's lower than what you think.
I'm gonna say 39.
I think sales was, what was that, 22,000 in sales?
You guys guess in the comments. Somebody says 46. Somebody says 35. I'm gonna say 39.
Oh man, you are way under. No, it was 67.
Oh, that's
67.
Not too bad.
However, that doesn't mean 67 people, because I also upsell. So anytime I buy anything, a phone, what gaming console, or I have a copy and paste script where it's like, hey, what else you got? I want you to bring everything you got. You got anything laying around? I'll buy it. And that will take you from a just regular dude down the street to a real professional, and people will see that for sure.
Oh yeah, big time. So I want to. So it's kind of funny, guys. Tyler is actually, he inadvertently created my my software resale deck. It's a funny story actually. We were talking, we were cutting it up at a Starbucks actually, and I was showing him a software. He actually joined my marketing program back last year, and I was showing him a software, and he was like, dude, can you build something like this for reselling? And I was like, holy shit, yeah, I probably can. And so that's exactly what I did. I built an entire follow-up system that he was a beta tester for, and it, I think it was probably one of the reasons your repeat business increased so much, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep.
When you get them automated messages sent to your customers every month,
yep,
out, I think, right?
Like clockwork. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So sure. Guys, there's not a whole lot that goes into this business. I'll be fully honest with you, right? You post ads. If you can't pay for ads, post ads, right? But we run ads. We get people to message us. We negotiate with those people, and then we follow up with those people on a regular basis, typically every 30 days. Those 4 steps, if you can do those, I'm sorry, there's 5 steps. You need to appraise correctly and make offers correctly. So those are the same thing. But if you can do those steps correctly, you will win in this business. It's 4 to 5 steps. That's it. And you'll win. That's pretty much all you do, right, Tyler? Every single day, right?
Yep. And stay consistent. That's a big key.
So, the business works, guys. I literally just bought a phone before this webinar. Just, it works, right? Tyler, is there anything you would tell somebody who's new to this business? A lot of the people on here I've talked to personally, and a lot of people that are going to be watching this are very new to this business. They probably never even sold their first phone or any type of electronic on eBay or anywhere else. What would you tell people, who are just getting started with all of this?
Ooh, that's a good one. I may say you need to figure out why you're doing it, and figure out what that is. There's some people that just like it as like a side hustle, that they love their job and they just want to make some extra bucks on the weekend, and if that's your thing, you can certainly do it.
Yep.
That's not a thing at all. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you really, enjoy what you do and you just kind of want to make a little side hustle, that's fine. But if you want to actually get in it and create a business, then in my opinion, you need a mentor, you need someone to learn from. At least, it's going to be a lot easier for you to start. But I would say you got to be consistent. I don't think there's any business on the planet where you can try it just for a month and then it's not working out, then you leave it alone. Honestly, while it is easy. I'm sorry.
This is one of those businesses you can make.
What's that?
You can make money the same day you start. That is possible.
Oh, for sure. But I guess I'm in as far as depending on where you want to go.
Oh yeah.
The bigger and better, the more the top dog resellers, that takes a little bit more work.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, you can make quick cash for sure. There's no question. Yesterday I made $700. Just, really quick, maybe a couple hours. So, you can do it. But yeah, I would say know what you want and what you're wanting to do. If you're wanting to create, if you're wanting to create a, like a business where it doesn't feel like a job, and you feel like going full time, then I would say pursue it and be consistent about it. Learn as much as you can. Always reach out to the people who have done more and listen to them. Try and follow what they say and not come in with preconceived notions of how you would do it. I would follow that yellow brick road. And then you can tweak as you get bigger. But yeah, I would say just be consistent. And go make money.
Absolutely. So we got somebody in the comments that says I fix phones, computers. He's a meat manager and he loves phones. Tyler, do you fix phones?
I got big fingers, man. Tiny screws and big fingers don't mix. So no, I don't fix phones.
Tyler doesn't fix phones, right?
No, I don't. Not at all.
And then we got somebody else asking, how much did you spend on ads to make $6,000 in profit?
Let me see. I spent $2,168.10.
Not bad. 300 and something percent return. Can't complain with that. So,
nope.
And that is net profit, right? 6,300 was net.
That is net. Yes.
So that was after ad spend.
That's after ad spend. That's after everything.
Full profit, net profit.
Full profit.
Right.
Yep.
Perfect.
If you want me to share my screen, I'll share my screen and show you my profit and loss.
I know they want to see the proof.
Sure. I have no problems with that. Give me just a second. Righty. All right. So we see in my screen?
Yep.
So this would be my total net right here. This is where you see my total sales, profit without expenses, and here would be all the expenses that I had. And here's complete profit, and here's all my devices.
Look at all of them. Yep. Can you go back up real quick? I noticed a lot. I noticed something. Guys, there's a good amount of phones in here, but there's also Switch games. There's a Skyrim. Yep. There's a Nintendo 3DS, Xbox One. There's quite a few different devices in here, and they're not all phones, and they're not all iPhones either. It's a PS4, right? There's a Samsung Flip, right? There's a good amount of Samsungs in there too. So,
right.
This stuff isn't, it's not just iPhones, right? We don't just do iPhones. Honestly, that's limiting, right? So his profit, his gross profit was $8,300. But I'm glad
Right.
that was full net after ad spend, after all expenses were paid. That's how we do
Yep.
things. That's how we talk about things, right? And what was the total sales to do that as well? I'm kind of curious.
It was, let me share my screen one more time.
I'm kind of interested in like what the percentage was there.
If I can get my screen back. Oop. All right, that was 22,376.
Damn, that's really good, dude.
Yep.
That's really good. So
It's
62
not good enough. I want to double it.
divided by 22,376. Yeah, so that's 27% profit margin. That's really good. Especially doing that much volume, because there are people that spend 100,000 to do these numbers, to do 6,000. They do that, guys. Like that is something that is done on a regular basis. Now, they're dealing wholesale and different things like that, but this is definitely a business. And just to put it in perspective, how many hours did you work a day to do this, man?
How many hours a day?
Yeah.
I would say anywhere from, I'd say anywhere from maybe 5 to 10, maybe. 10 on the days where I was really running. And of course, when I say 10, that just means by the time I maybe started, because the way I like to do it is I kind of like, especially in the the morning times, I kind of like to just kind of mull around, just kind of do a little bit of a bird's eye view of everything. But I mean, I'm just looking. I'm not really like focus. So I mean, it could be 5, it could be 4, it could be 6. I mean, not much at all.
Yeah. So
Not
Jaime,
like my
what's
previous
up,
job.
Jaime? Good to see you, Jaime. So Jaime was wondering how much you spent per day on ads.
In January, I was at $40 a day.
40 a day. Yep. So, well, there you go, guys. I mean, that's the number. So,
and I should say that my old mindset, when I was at 2000, I was probably about like maybe 10 to 15 a day.
I remember this conversation. You were asking me what does it take to get to this point. I was like, you need to just increase your ad spend, bro.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you did. And then like 3 months later.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember that. Okay.
Absolutely.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
So constant, that'd be another tip of mine. If you're wanting to go pretty good with it, don't maybe try this plateau, maybe $20 a day. Once you're starting to get good and get rolling, then scale it. So be moderate. Scale it as need be. But yeah, why stay when you can increase? You can make more money. And so you can do more if you're wanting to do more, of course. Some people don't. They don't want leads. That's crazy in my mind. I mean, the more leads, the better for me, but to each their own.
Somebody had a question. Richard said, $40. Yeah, so he spent $1,200 on ads, Richard, but he also had other expenses. He had software expenses. He had to pay his ads guy. He had to do a couple of, there was a couple of extra expenses added into that total that you saw.
Yeah. I put like shipping cost in there, as far as like if I have to buy like padded envelopes, bubble wrap. If some of you guys know what SIGW is, that's where we check our ESNs and IMEIs, and so you pay them as well. So yeah. So really, ad spend, it was probably about 12, maybe $1,200, I guess, ad spend or whatever it was. But I put all expenses, just how I like to do it.
So yeah, he's spent JC. He's spending 40 a day. So for a beginner, it's a good question. So on all beginners, I actually just helped a new student set up their ads today, and we started off at $5 a day. We always start students off at $5 a day. That's a good place to start, a good place to start getting leads at. And then we see people increase that over time, and that's what we recommend. Get a little comfortable with $5 and then move to $10 and then move to 15 and then go to 20. And then once you spend 20, a lot of the times what we usually see is they jump from 20 to 30 or even 40. Because now they're a lot more comfortable. They know what they're doing and they're growing, right?
Yep.
So that's how it works, guys. That's that. Yeah. Does anybody else have any more questions for Tyler before we wrap anything up? I'm going to open up a quick Q&A session here, and ask away with Tyler while we got him here. Let's see, we got a couple other people.
While we're getting some questions in, I want to also say something real quick to anybody else listening, that especially starting out, you get no's and rejection more than you're going to get yeses. If you're closing 20% of your deals, that's really good in my book.
Really good.
And so make sure you get your negotiation game under point, like we talked about with the mentors. But and when people tell you no, it's a lot of times it's just a yes. It's just they haven't said yes yet. And there's been plenty of times where I've worked people from there where they want $1,000 for whatever they want. I've worked them down to like 500, or whatever. So whoever, find those mentors, find that that system that's going to help you, and follow it, and really keep going. And because when people say no, it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't go, stay in there, stick with it, keep going, because that'll be a lot of times, because most of the time the people we close, I'm sure Chris would say the same thing, they tell you no first.
Yeah.
So
it's usually their first answer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or it's like hell no.
Yep.
Or F no.
Yep. And there's ways of turning that negativity around too. Once you get into the higher levels, trying to shift their perspective and their mindset as well. Of course, that's more of an advanced thing, but yeah.
I live in Boston. People ask more money for phones. Okay. So you must be reaching out. If you're reaching out, you can do reach outs. If you go to Facebook Marketplace, everybody's asking higher prices for their phones, guys.
Yep.
Like, that's all the time, right? What we're doing here is we are hitting the people that don't want to do that. They don't want to sell phones themselves. They don't want to sell their PS for themselves. They don't want to put in that work to do it themselves. They want an easy way out. There's a lot of people that are like that. For example, let me show you guys a message here. This iPhone 11 that I bought. Let me pull up the actual message. She was literally just like, "Okay, cool, that sounds good. I just need to get rid of it." Like, that's literally what she said.
Oh yeah.
I'll pull it up for you guys real quick. We had another question too. Nope.
Yeah, there wouldn't be such things called eco ATMs if people all, price was an issue a lot of times. Yeah. Because the eco ATMs don't pay anything for them.
No, they're really bad. They're ripping people off. Oh my gosh, come on. Stuff isn't loading.
Yeah, I would get, and for whoever the person in Boston, I would, when you're reaching out, it's a little bit harder because the power dynamic is in their favor. I think it's a much more better deal to have them come to you, because then hey, they're looking for an easier way out, and they don't want to go and sell it themselves per se. Some do, but I mean, for the most part, yeah, they're reaching out to you. So that's already a good sign in your favor of closing it. So
that's what it is. I mean, get people to reach out to you to sell their device. Don't go in and try to, guys, I don't reach out to anybody on Marketplace. I haven't done it in like 4 years, and I don't plan on doing it ever. If I ever do it, I'll hire a VA to do it. I'm not doing it.
I
Because
never had much luck doing it. Yeah.
yeah, see, so here was the deal, right? This is the last deal that I did. Let me fetch the older messages. Okay, let's see. Here we go. All right, so it's completely paid off and clear. She sent me the stuff on it. She told me it was cracked. It's completely paid off. What company was it with? T-Mobile. I can do about $100 for it. How does that sound? That'll work. I just want to get rid of it. Boom.
Boom. Yeah.
And I'm going to make over $100 in profit. Like,
I love those deals. Yeah, I just want to get rid of it. Okay.
I mean, it doesn't happen,
That's fine with me.
but it does happen.
No, it doesn't.
So
It is great though.
yeah. So Richard was asking where are mentors acquired for electronics flipping and how does that typically work? So that's actually what I'm getting into right now. So if you want to be mentored, if you want a coach for reselling, this is what I do. This is what I do with Tyler. Like literally after this call, I'm going over orientation with him for the rescale program, which is, by the way, that's a higher level program. What I'm about to offer you guys is for people trying to get to 10,000, 3 to 4K in profit, right? But I've been coaching for Tyler. How long have I been coaching people reselling for now? Like 2.5, 3 years?
Yeah.
Okay. I've been under David Kosciusko's wing for like 4 years. So
yeah.
I was his
I
head.
can still remember doing a call with you early on where we were practicing negotiating over the phone.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was coached directly by David Kosciusko, who pretty much started this entire industry. So if you're looking for mentorship, if you're looking for coaching, that's exactly what I do. I have a program, but along with my program, there's mentorship. I help you set up your ads. I help you get started. I help you do all of the things that you need to do to get started correctly in this business. Because there's ways you can get started incorrectly. And it can take you. Here's the real deal, guys. You guys can go to the Reselling Electronics for Profit group and hang out for 6 to 12 months and get and absorb the information from other people. It's going to take a while though, right? Or what you can do is you can get everything that is needed really quickly and beat other people's business within 3 months. You can beat people that have been doing this for a year or 2 years or even 3 years in 6 months. I've had people, when I was coaching with David Kosciusko, we had people beating people that have been doing this for 3 years in 30 days, brand new to the business, right? So, in my own right, like those awards you guys see behind me, those I paid for those. I paid good mentors for those. I paid a lot of money for those mentors too. Mentors to me are cheat codes. That's like if you're playing a video game, you get cheat codes. That's what a mentor is in life, guys. Like whether that's with fitness, whether that's with business, whether it's with spirituality, it doesn't matter. Getting a mentor or somebody who is further ahead than you are is a massive game changer. I mean, Tyler, me, David, Aaron, were we helpful?
Yeah, of course. That $6,000 would not be there if it was not for you, Dave, Aaron. Yeah, Aaron's script, I still use it. And I've kind of made it to where I like it a little bit, but it's at the core the same thing. And that script, I'm telling you, is you will be better than anybody else in your area, guaranteed, in my opinion, of course. But yeah, because it's that good. It's all based in psychology, and it's not any kind of trickery. It's just being able to sound and be professional, because the random guy across the street, on Facebook, reaching out or wherever, they're not going to have near enough or near as much edge that you will have when you can actually learn how to talk to people. For sure.
So guys, if you're looking for, a coach or a mentor, that's what I do. That's what I've been doing for years. I'm gonna drop a link in the comments for you guys. It's resellingelectronics.com/workwithchris. You guys can literally click that link, fill it out, and we'll have a conversation. And guys, here's one thing you guys want to know about me. If I don't think I can help you, I'm gonna tell you. Like, if your mindset is wrong and you're like, oh well, I don't know if I can do this or that, I'm not gonna work with you. Like, I won't even take your money. Like, it just won't happen, because honestly, I want to work with people that want to work with me. That's what I want specifically. Like, I love working with Tyler. Love working with Tyler. I love working with all of my other students because I care, and I want you guys to freaking crush it. Like, that's my entire goal with my programs, is to, I just had an orientation with another guy today. He just got started today, telling me his goals, going through everything. And he was really excited. I was really excited, like, you get excited whenever other people hit their goals. I was really excited when Tyler hit his goals.
I was too.
But yeah, there's a lot of like, one thing about me is like, there's a lot of accountability too. Like, I say like a lot. Let me stop doing that. But I like to keep people accountable. That's one thing that I really like to do. Tyler, how many times did I pop in on you, be like, hey bro, where you at?
All the time. Yeah.
What you doing, man?
Yep. Yeah, let's pop the hood and let's see what's under there. Let's see what's working, what's not working. Yeah, for sure.
So, and that alone can drive sales up or profit up, right? That alone. So, said, how can I start the program? So I just dropped the link in the chat for you. I'll type the answer here for you though too, just to make it easy for you, dude.
Yeah, it's worth noting that time in Starbucks when you were kind of helping me out, kind of, we were bouncing ideas off, and you were helping me build the system that later became Resell Deck. At that time I was probably at like maybe 2,500 profit, 28, and then 2 months later, that's when I hit that 6. So,
beautiful, man.
Coincidence maybe, but I don't think so.
So guys, if you guys want to work with me, links in the comments or in the chat thing below. If you're on the replay, it will be, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to hit the link. It'll be the first link in there. It's literally resellingelectronics.com/workwithchris. If you're watching it on the replay vault, it'll just be a big button that says work with Chris or something similar to that. Depending on what time you're watching this. So guys, next week for episode 3 of this show, the Six-Figure Flipper show, I'm going to be going over how to start a reselling business from scratch, even if you have no money, and how you can do a couple of different things to get that money to start. That's going to be a really valuable episode. I'm going to go through 3 different things that I have done, that I have tested myself, that I've done it, right? Personally, like, there's actually, I got devices behind me that I got for free. I got cameras, I got GPSs, I got all kinds of weird stuff that I got for free that I'm selling for somebody else. That's the stuff I'm gonna be going over next week. So make sure you're there. I think you guys are gonna love it. And where's the replay gonna be for this? It will be on YouTube. It will also be posted in the replay vault, which I will send to people. So, yep.
You ought to tell your $5 to $1,000 story on that one.
That's a good one. That's on YouTube.
That's
too.
a good one.
Yeah, I flipped a iPod that I bought for $5 into over $1,400 in 6 days. So that was pretty awesome. I thought I was only gonna be able to do about 500, but worked out.
Good, man.
It's a little bit tougher
nowadays
with eBay managed payments, but it's okay. Yeah. I mean, you can still do it within a month easily. So anyway, guys, I will see you guys next week on the Six-Figure Flipper show, and appreciate you guys watching, and see you guys in the group.